All right, gentlemen, we've made way too many mistakes this week, okay? Football's a simple game, but you keep making these silly mistakes, we're not gonna win. So let's get out there.
Ready? Right! Ready, right! Here we go! We good! 132! Fire! Ready! Say go! Okay? Right! Hut go! Set, ready! 91. Ready!
Hey, you know what, guys? That was pretty dang good. And you know what gets me really excited? You haven't even reached the top of your potential yet. Not even close. Each and every one of you should take that as a challenge and see if you can find that next level.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 46 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Here's Jacobs. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Flores
gonna throw on 3rd and goal. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. The touchdown giving them the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with a flag down.
Holding.
Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Back to throw. Flores escaping, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Raiders add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Eluding the pressure right. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 1st down.
Now Flores, off play action, sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Looking to throw. Flores. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Rolling to his right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take him the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside and break it inside. Really well-run route.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and in. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. Two not to miss to close out Week 6. A gain of 6 there on first.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Flush to his right, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to him.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week.
It got his man complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too. Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
All day, baby, let's go! Let's go!
And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Flores now looking to throw on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Back to throw. Flores. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown Raiders. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Flushed out right. He'll have a first down inside the 10. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. To throw is Flores. From the gun, he'll throw. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
It's complete to Grant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll run on first down. Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Oh, good footwork on the spin. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And down inside the 15 he goes. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the full.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. It's a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me.
Ready? Let's get the Pittsburgh.
And here's Flores. Throwing on 1st down. Buying time to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 2nd quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
2nd and 9 now. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Looking to throw. Flores. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Joshua Jackson there to knock that one away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in...
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
Flores on first down. Flushed out right. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. With that grab, by the way, Antonio Brown, now over 10,000 receiving yards in his career.
That is an incredible, significant accomplishment. You're saying 10,000 yards? How many other guys have done that in NFL history?
He's the 46th all-time.
And one of the few that are active.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There's only a few that are active. He still, though, is a ways away from Jerry Rice, up over 22,000 for the all-time lead. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the...
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. That one looks like he'll throw here. Forced out to his left. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Here's Jacobs, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can't.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Raiders, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boys just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Beat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance.